Joining us now, Attorney Warren Alperstein, who's been following these cases from the very beginning. Thank you so much for coming in and talking with us tonight.
Thank you.
So what I found interesting in this was the fact that Marilyn Mosby, when she announced the charges, claimed that she had done this very thorough, extensive investigation, that she seemed to have the goods. And now today she seems to be pointing the fingers at the police department for not having the evidence to prove the case. So you sort of can't have it both ways, it seems.
Yeah, exactly. I think at the onset of this case, you know, it was very much conveyed to the citizens of Baltimore that the state's attorney's office completed an in-depth, independent investigation. But as things unfolded and trials came and went and testimony from various investigators from the police department testified, I think we've come to learn that there may not have been that independent investigation, and certainly some of the concerns that were raised by the lead investigator, as we learned again from these trials, certainly paints a different picture.
She took a very defensive tone in that news conference today, a very emotional tone, as she had in her first news conference. Emotions aside, though, how do the legalities shake out in this?
Well, you know, ultimately, at the end of the day, the state has the burden to prove all these charges, you know, beyond a reasonable doubt, and that's a high burden for prosecution to satisfy. But you know, the evidence gets resolved in the context of the law, and if the burden can't be satisfied, a judge or a jury, for that matter, has no choice, you know, but to acquit.
So she has to work with this police department going forward, some of the same detectives on cases that her office will be prosecuting. I mean, that has to be an awkward setup going forward.
Yeah, there was already a rift between the state's attorney's office and the Baltimore Police Department. I represent quite a few police officers throughout Baltimore City. I've had a number of conversations with them today and throughout these trials. That rift is never been greater after the comments made today.
And just a quick question before we have to let you go. How vulnerable is she now from a legal standpoint? She has these civil cases pending against her. There's been a law professor calling for her to be disbarred. What position is she in terms of her career, politically and otherwise?
Well, legally, you know, there is protection. You know, there's immunity that prosecutors enjoy and that protects them. So, you know, there's evidence that we don't know yet. The idea that the state's attorney's office believes that there's probable cause to move forward should be enough, you know, for a defense, in my opinion.
All right, it'll be interesting to see how it plays out. Attorney Warren Alperstein, thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you.